This is Tommy Watt for T2T Boxing, and I'm here with Luke Action Jackson here in Sydney. How you doing, mate?
Good, thank you.
It's been a little while. I think last time we caught up was maybe DYRSL about a year ago. It's,
it's been a while, mate. So it's been a good, good few months for me. We announced a big fight against Carl Frampton, so yeah, it's good to catch up and have a chat about all that.
Yeah, so I think every time we've spoken in the past, it's always been looking for that big fight, wanting that big fight, just getting yourself up in the rankings, and like I say, now you've got that. It's been a long journey, I guess, to secure that, and it looked like it was good. Well, I know you were chasing Oscar Valdez for a long time, and then this fight presented itself. Sounds like there wasn't much thought behind it. As soon as the fight was offered, you were keen.
Yeah, look, it's something that I've been very vocal about, is that I want to fight Oscar Valdez, and he's got an injured jaw now, so he's out. So Carl Frampton's the interim champion. So when that fight was presented to me, I took it with both hands. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 33 now. I feel I'm at my best, and this is the right time for me to go over there and try and upset the party. Yeah,
so you mentioned your age. I know you were sort of late to start in boxing, so 18, 19 when you first sort of got into the sport. When you did you, how long did it take for you to think, I'm actually going to make a go of this, and did you think you'd ever be at this stage, fighting in front of 18,000 people?
Well, when I first started boxing, it was my goal was just to make to see another country. And then the first country I seen was Papua New Guinea, and then like, I want to see another one, and then it slowly, gradually built from there. I was, my coach at the time, David Polly, he said that I had some good talent, and I didn't know whether he was, being truthful or whatever, but it took off pretty quick for me. I qualified for the Commonwealth Games after 10 fights or something like that, and I was in with some good seasoned guys, and I was beating them. And then my sights turned on to make the Olympics, and I never thought I would turn professional. I thought I just wanted to make the Olympics, and then that would be it. But a few certain things happened in my life that made me want to continue to box, because it gives me direction and focus. And I always find whenever life is a little bit difficult, for whatever reason that may be, if you're boxing, if you're in the gym, you can always work your way out of it. Whereas if you're not, you can sometimes go down the wrong path. So that was the main reason I turned professional. And my goal was then to win an Australian title, then it was to win a regional title, and now obviously a world title. So did I think I'd be in this position? Probably not. Did that stop me from working hard and trying to be the best I could be every day? No, it didn't. I worked hard every day, and I think everything happens for a reason, and the reason I'm here now is because I've worked extremely hard, and I've got a good team behind me. Adam Wilcox, Mike Altamore and Billy Hussain, that have guided my career to this path, and I believe that we can win this fight.
Yeah, I think speaking to anyone about yourself, it always comes back that you are always in the gym and always sort of pushing yourself, so never sort of out of shape. And I think every time I've seen you, you've been pretty much fighting shape, so that obviously rings true. And so you mentioned there were things happening on your life, and you've been pretty vocal about, I guess, some of the demons and things that you fought through and have struggled through to get to the point that you're at, and now using that to help other people as well. So you, on your social media, quite actively pushing people forward and driving people to better themselves. I take it this platform just gives you a chance to do even more of that moving forward.
It's funny, because when I went to Belfast for the press conference, I seen Tyson Fury sitting on a couch very similar to this, and I was just looking at it and going, that's Tyson Fury, and then he's like doing an interview just like we are, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, Luke Jackson, come and sit down, and then they've interrupted the interview, and Tyson interviewed me, and that was cool. And my words to him was that I respect him for his the voice he gives mental illness, and how he puts it out there. I respect him for that more than his boxing, and he was pretty happy about that, and so he followed me on Instagram, and It's cool, you know. It's really cool because a lot of people go through issues, and a lot of people are scared to talk about it. But you know, I'm a bit of a head case. My missus has to deal with me a lot, you know. But look, this is when I'm at my hardest. I mean, even though, like I said, when I'm in the gym, I'm at my best, but also I'm at my worst because I can't eat, I can't do anything. Like life is like, it's very hard when you're an athlete, you know, and it's hard for your partner, and it's hard for the people close around you, because they don't see what you go through for 8 to 10 to 12 weeks leading into a fight, and you know, it's hard, man. So like, you got to you know, we're organising a mad trip to go around Italy and Croatia and all that after the fight, and we've got to get some excess baggage because hopefully we'll have a new belt.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I take it to be a bit of a reprieve for everyone that puts up with you during the weight cut in the few weeks leading up to it.
Yeah, look, it's hard, but look, it's part of the job, and I guess that's what I signed up for, and it is what it is.
Yeah. You mentioned obviously the chat with Tyson Fury, which has been pretty viral. Everyone seemed to be received very well on both sides of the pond. What are your thoughts on having someone like that on your undercard, effectively?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, just a little kid from Hobart, Tasmania, is fighting on the big stage with Tyson Fury on the undercard. You know, on the way back from Belfast to Manchester, I was sitting next to Big John Fury on the plane, and was these little planes. And I was like this, and the guy's a monster. And he invited me and Billy Hussein to Manchester to train with him if we wanted to, but you know, and just give me some advice on what I think, what he thinks I should do to beat Carl. And they're just cool people, man. Just down to earth people, you know. I sat next to him for an hour on the plane and just talked to him, and it was cool, man.
Yeah, probably a very different person to the one that you probably see in the papers.
Yeah, so, way different.
Yeah, and so you mentioned Billy Hussein then, so I know you've worked with Billy since turning pro, and so one thing that strikes me about you, and pretty much about everyone from Billy's stable, is how much everyone buys into him and his plan and his tactics and everything else. And is that part of your success, is that you just do what you're told when it comes 100%.
To that? Like, you know, I believe Billy is saying, for me, is the best coach in the world. For me, you know, personally, you know, he's been great, especially this camp. Like, we've taken it to another level, and it's like, you know, if I'm fighting, it's like he's on the control and I'm the, you know, he's playing the game, and I'm in there doing what he says, and I just do what he says. You know, I trust him, and he says do this, and I do it, and it works. You know, yesterday we sparred 12 rounds, and we had, you know, different rounds. He wanted me to do different things, and you know, I was really happy with how it went yesterday's sparring, and everything's on track, man. I feel very fit, I feel very focused, I feel happy, and like I said, I've got my girlfriend here to keep me occupied when I'm outside the gym. And I mean, I feel we're going to win this fight, man. Like, honestly feel, I've got a good feeling about this, and I know I'm an underdog, and so I should be, because Carl Frampton's the 2-weight world champion. But I've got a good feeling about this, man, that we're going to go over there and outbox him, and you know, this is what I believe, and you know, I'm training like that, and we're putting in the work, and I feel so fit, and we've still got 4.5 weeks to go.
And how, I know you don't want to give away too much, but has there been much discussed around the tactics, or is that something you do in the next 4 weeks?
No, we've worked on the tactics day in, day out. Mentally, you know, we've got a few ways we can box, or we can, you know, I was an aggressive fighter as an amateur. I had some good fights with Tom Stalker, bigger guys. I beat Nicholas Waters, and many good Cubans I fought, and Russians, and I fought a lot of good fighters as an amateur, and I beat a lot of them too. And the ones I lost were not by much, so I know I can fight going forward, and I can fight going back. So we're just working on everything, man, and whatever Carl brings, hopefully we've got enough to match it.
Yeah, and you mentioned, so going back to that amateur career, I think one area that I've been pretty vocal about when Australian fighters have made this jump to fight for those world titles and to fight on the world stage is that it is a big jump, and fighting abroad is very different from fighting at home. do you think that your experience as an amateur lends you to be much stronger in that aspect? It's a much easier jump for you to make, to fight in these away conditions where you're maybe not getting the rub of the green and things don't always go your way in the lead up to the fight. Obviously we've seen recently Lucas Brown and a few other fighters sort of fall at that hurdle. Do you think that, say, that experience lends you in good stead?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I travelled, over 50 countries as an amateur and fought, 113 amateur fights and 80 plus were international. There's times when we was fighting in Russia and, the day the weigh-in, we come out to get on the bus to go back to our place, to our hotel, to eat and rest up, and the bus is gone. So we've got to walk back in the snow, in Russia, and everyone's stressing out, and I'm just thinking to myself, just stay calm and stay relaxed, because the more you get upset about it, it just makes you tired and drained, and it is what it is, man. And I expect a lot of this sort of stuff, and the weigh-ins at Commonwealth Games, the scales are out, so then we're in the sauna trying to lose weight that we didn't have to lose because the scales were out. And I don't think, look, if Carl Frampton beats me, it's not gonna be because of the tactics they play. It'll just be that he's a better fighter. Like, they can't upset me outside of the ring, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen, maybe the car that picks us up from the airport doesn't come and we're waiting there and we've got to get a cab. Or that's happened already to me, like all this stuff, the scales, this and that, like, it doesn't bother me. The way Carl Frampton will beat me is just be a better fighter. Like, I've travelled everywhere, I've flown to Germany, I've weighed in the next day and fought, like, I've done all that. So I can't be fazed by that. But look, if Carl beats me, it's just because he's better. It's not because I had to travel there. It's not because of this or that. Like, I fought in front of the Olympic Games, 10,000-12,000 people, at the World Championships, all this. I mean, look, if he beats me, it's just because he's better. It's not any other reason.
Yeah. All right. And you mentioned, you said some of your Olympic teammates. Recently, we've seen Jeff Horn fall or lose his world title to Terence Crawford, with absolutely no shame in that. What are your thoughts on that fight, and what are your thoughts mainly on the way he's been received globally since his Pacquiao win and since that fight? Do you think he's had a fair rub of the green from the media on that side of things?
Well, look, I think Jeff beat. I said, oh, you going? Yeah, okay, bye. I think Jeff beat Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't think that he beat him, I mean, you need to. He just roughed him up and just manhandled him for maybe 8 to 9 rounds. Teddy Atlas is to blame for that, a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because the way he, Americans just listen to the commentators.
Yeah, well, I think your opinion on who won that fight depends what commentary team you watch, pretty much, from what I've seen.
Teddy Atlas is, he got the sack over that, I think, so. And, the loss against Terence Crawford, I mean, there could have been 4 Jeff Horns in there and still lost to Terence Crawford. I mean, he's an amazing fighter, probably, number 2 pound for pound in the world, like, I think Errol Spence might beat him, but probably that's the only guy at welterweight that could beat him, I think. Yeah. So look, Jeff's me and Jeff were roommates at the Olympics, and we're very good friends, and I wish him well, whatever he decides to do. I mean, there's a lot of money there for him to be made, and
definitely.
I mean, if it's not me getting it, I'm glad it's him.
Well, I think everyone knows in America that regardless, you're going to get action and a good fight from Jeff. So, even though he was up against one of the best fighters in the world, he came to give it a go, and while it lasted, it was very entertaining.
That's right.
Another one of your mates fighting for a world title very soon in Billy Dibb. We've seen him in a couple of weeks now, against Tevin Farmer, bringing a big fight down to Sydney. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think Tevin Farmer travelling to people like these fighters don't understand what it's like travelling to Australia. It's hard.
It's a long way.
It's a long way, man.
From everywhere.
Whenever you go to Europe and then you come back, you're always tired coming back.
Yeah.
It's always something travelling this way makes you tired, and you've seen what happened to Roy Jones with Danny Green, and these guys. Look, I'm tipping Billy to beat him, man. He's had a great training camp. I speak to him regularly, and I'm looking forward for him to become a 2-time, 2-weight world champion. In the IBF, which is crazy.
Yeah.
you know, I think Farmer's going to get a rude shock, and you know, my advice to Farmer is get out here early, man. Get out here early and try and adjust to the time difference and all that, because I think you're gonna get a rude shock, and I'm looking forward to watching Billy become world champion again. And he's a guy that's helped me along my way, and he's always been very supportive of my career, and we were stablemates with Billy the same before he went to Jeff Fennick, and I'm happy for him, man, to see him come back from you know what he's been through, and to be back on top, and I'll be there on August 3rd to watch him.
Yes, it's a hell of a journey he's been through, and there's not many nicer guys in the sport than Billy. So, yeah, really hope he can pull that off. So, look, I'll let you get off, mate. I appreciate I've taken up a fair bit of your time this afternoon. Just finally, if people want to follow you on social media, where's the best place to do that?
On Twitter and Instagram is Luke Jackson, and Facebook is Luke Action Jackson.
And I know Andre Ward's a big fan. Will he be tuning in to watch that one?
Well, look, I wanted the fight to be, if we fought Valdez in America, I was going to get Andre to come and walk me out, but this one's in Belfast. So yeah, I was speaking to Andre this morning on Instagram. Actually, I'd done some hard runs on the treadmill, and I had his top on, so I tagged him in it, and then he messaged me, asked me how the training's going. That, so look, unbelievable guy, and for me to be able to even be on talking terms with him is something pretty crazy. So you know, like, I'm just a young guy, man, that come from nothing, and if I can win this fight, you know, it's going to change my life, and you know, I'm determined to do that.
Maybe you can bring him down under to walk you out for your title defence.
Let's do it, man.
Alright, Luke, best of luck in the rest of camp. We'll catch up with you at Billy's fight in a couple of weeks, and thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, man.
Cheers, Luke.